like light in the landscape. Strong standing with the crowds, no need to fake. Mental health warriors, no souls we forsake. Come to the show, smile, you ain't alone. Through the speakers our pain gets shown. Raise your fist like a shield, they grow. Tony and Panda, the place you call home. Demons in my brain, but I got an army. Tony slaps Panda, no need to harm me. Voices loud, yet the heart feels clammy. Stage lights on, we all family. Demons in my brain, but I got an army. Tony slaps Panda, no need to harm me. Voices loud, yet the heart feels clammy. Stage lights on, we all family. Come to the show, smile, you ain't alone. Through the speakers our pain gets shown. Raise your fist like a shield, they grow. Tony and Panda, the place you call home. To the show, smile, you ain't alone. Through the speakers our pain gets shown. Raise your fist like a shield, they grow. Tony and Panda, the place you call home. Let the bass drop, let your heart pound. We fight the invisible, make no sound. Break the chains, no longer feel bound. In this arena, solace found. Mental scars inked in our minds. Through the chaos, a clear sign. Tony guided Panda in the line. Together we heal, time after time.
Hey babe, wanna say that today was a good day. Safe to say next time that I should pay. Like the way they feel like the show in the West End, not just a lover, you're my best friend. So why you need to leave? Why you wanna go out? I ain't believing your reasons, you know you need to slow down. Don't know if you know this, but I've noticed that your eyes control it. That look of surprise show like how you are going. Search inside your focus, you're choking, it's hopeless. What's with all the fucking ruckus? I was trying to sleep. It's happened, just imagine you were lying to me. Your breath stinks of fucking booze and your eyes are glazed over. I know you're back on the hard stuff, don't even say that, just so I know you're living a nightmare, but we can make it. I swear I need to face the pain. Exercise those demons, make the change. I know you're living in a nightmare, please don't leave me. It's not fair. Me the reason why you stay. Exercise those demons, make the change. Stop making such a mess and get the fuck out of my wallet. Trying to take my last pound that you ain't even asked for borrow. I love you, but I hate you. Please don't come back tomorrow. Your sorrow ain't gonna do the trick. You hollow and stupid bitch. I ain't mean the things I'm saying, it's just stressful and shit. You got a home right, hitting issues that cesspool as shit. When I say I love you, babe, you best believe I fucking mean it. Oh, of course you are. There you go again, leaving. There you go again, leaving. There you go again, leaving me. There you go again, leaving. There you go again. I know you're living a nightmare, but we can make it. I swear I need to face the pain. Exercise those demons, make the change. I know you're living in a nightmare, A&E and I'm looking into your eyes. They say you tried suicide, wish I could say that I'm surprised, but my tears have run dry. Don't even know if I can cry. There's no point in asking us, you probably don't even know why. You don't even love yourself, how the fuck can you love me? You know I pray every night to the God that's above me, and I'll stand by your side. I can't be one to judge, see the person before my eyes, well that person was once me.
I know we're living a nightmare, but we can make it, and I swear I need to face the pain. Exercise those demons, make the change.
Oh, what's up, everybody? Once again, sorry for the delay, but like we say every time, if there wasn't some kind of a delay or technical glitch, it wouldn't be my show. It's just the way it seems to be going nowadays. See if we can get a few people to join in before we kick into this, but once again, got to start doing this at the beginning of every show. I'm not a licensed therapist. I'm not a licensed counselor. Hi, Anita. I am just another person who struggles with the day-to-day life of mental health, and I needed an output, and I hope that I can create a safe place for anybody to be able to come and talk. It's what we're about.
Yeah. And just to cover his backside, any music that is playing is artists that myself or BTMX have permission to play. We don't own the rights, we just have permission to play. What's up, Anita?
Oh, man. Communication is what we're going to talk about today. We're going to talk about how to properly communicate. Now, I don't know how to properly communicate all the time, so I'm not telling you how to do anything. It's just how can we communicate appropriately what we are either feeling, dealing with, struggling with, have questions about. How do we properly communicate that out to people so that we don't, one, look like we're crazy, or two, get into an argument with somebody because of the way that we are, of what we're trying to communicate about. I mean, I'm sure we've all had the experiences of having conversations with loved ones or family members or neighbors or coworkers, and then all of a sudden you say one thing and the whole.
Yeah.
So how do we better communicate with each other?
I found, instead of snapping, before it gets you to that point, mention it before you are burying it down and burying it down. Mention something as calmly as you can. That's what I find. And I found working that way is kind of making things a lot better for communication. Rather than just letting it go, and then just going, oh, for fuck's sake. If I go, right, this is an issue here, then slowly it's starting to work for me. I'm still learning. I'm going to hold my hands up. But yeah.
So how do you deal with, like, you're in a conversation like we're in now, and let's say that I say something and then you tell me, hey, look, I'm getting a little irritated about that. Can we change it up? And I don't want to change it up. How do you go about communicating effectively that, hey, look, this is This is something that's got to stop. Like that's what communication isn't just about talking back and
If
forth.
it's
It's about relaying the proper information to let somebody know.
yeah. If the person that you're talking to is always doing that and avoiding the situation, then obviously you've got to say something and go, no, look, this is the time that we need to talk about it. Do you know what I mean? If it's, yeah.
Well, Anita, that's what this place is for. That's what we're for. If you need to reach out to one of us.
I'm not sure if that's to you, Tony. Someone in here called Looney Tune Girl has asked, have you seen Ren?
That's from Twitch. That's from our Twitch.
Okay. Oh, yeah, it is from our Twitch. Have you seen Ren?
Yeah, one's from YouTube. Have you seen Ren? Looney Tune Girl 87. Not sure who that is.
No, I'm not sure who Ren is either, so. Elaborate more, please, Looney Tune Girl.
Being able to okay. What happens if it's I'm not throwing anyone under the bus here, but what happens when you have a very hard time just communicating in general with each other, just talking to each other calmly about anything, because something can always set off?
Understand that, been through that before.
What was under the chair?
I go through that on a daily basis with the joys of being a teenage, like having a teenage son. Having a teenage son has taught me more patience than anything.
How old is he now? 14? 13?
Yeah. And got
You
the
still got
attitude and
you still got at least
yeah, but
5 years of pure attitude.
I know that. I know that, but you know how much of an asshat I was when you first met me, how I used to blow off. Try dealing with a 14-year-old like that and not blowing off the same time and calmly explaining why you're peed off, even though you've already explained 5 times why you're peed off.
I do just the opposite. I snapped the fuck off on my teenager, made him feel like shit, and then I go in there and say, "Hey, now do you understand why I yelled? If you had done what I asked you to do in the beginning."
But because he's too alike me, we headbutt too much, so we end up arguing. And then it gets to the point where he gets physical. So rather than put him in that situation, I've had to learn the whole way of calmly talking. See the song Ren, Hi Ren, guaranteed it's a long song, but
we'll check it out.
But we will try and check it out. And if that's here for promotion, then that's not really a cool way to go about things. What is up, David?
What's up, David? Okay. We started late.
Lethal.
Hey, Lex, how you doing, brother?
I hope life is treating you well, bro. I hope you're back in the school run routine, because I'm finding that fucking hard still.
Hey, that's one thing I'm not in anymore, is I'm not in that school routine. Mine's gone.
I recommended Hi Ren. Oh, okay.
Well, he's recommending that we listen to Hi Ren.
Yeah.
Good choice. Sure will.
Hey, promoting. That's not Ren. However, is dope as fuck. Okay, sweet.
So when you're in a conversation with somebody, or you're talking about... I just
want to clarify, the only reason I said if that was promoting is because sometimes through Twitch or YouTube, sometimes that's the way people do promote. So that was not taking pot shots or anything, so apologies, just to clear that up there.
Sounds good, Looney. So when when you're having a conversation with somebody and it starts to turn heated, what do you use to maintain yourself being calm and trying to help them stay calm? How do you guys do it? I want to hear from some of these people listening, like David and from Looney. How do you guys deal with, while communicating, things begin to get heated from one side, and how do you keep your calm to maintain that conversation? Or do you need to have those, hey, this is getting heated, I need to back off, we'll come back to this in 10 minutes or 15 minutes? Sounds good, Lex.
I think I know who he's talking about now. Yeah, I know who they're on about now. I know the song they're on about.
This is just becoming a chat between the followers and watchers
about a song, but it is worth a listen. I haven't fully listened to it, but I am aware of the song they are on about. The more they're talking, it's clicking with me who it is.
That makes sense. I mean, he's from your area.
Yeah. I was saying yes to Lex. I have listened to it, but you know when you listen but you don't fully listen? It was one of them moments. Anita reckons you got a nice mug. That's a bit forward, isn't it?
Okay.
Nice mug. I mean, what about my mug? Or are we talking about the cup? I'm trying to.
Well, maybe we need to reach out to him and see if we can put one of his songs on our show.
Yeah.
Sorry, guys, I'm just kind of out of it today. It's been a rough morning. I find that typically mirroring escalation or aggression very rarely works unless it's started out as aggression from the get-go.
Mm.
And then I don't match aggression. I blow it out of the water. I show them an extreme they're not used to. So I get the mirroring thing, but at the same time, yeah, dealing with security, you're going to deal with the mirroring their mood, their aggression, their body language, of course. Now let's say you're talking to your girlfriend or your mom or your dad or your neighbor, and it gets aggressive. How do you go about maintaining a positive communication while still not allowing yourself to be walked on?
I will say, I know it is off subject, but there was a message from that Looney Tune person explaining that they did lose someone yesterday. They just got the news who was taken their own life. So they're trying to, I can't pronounce that word. I'm going to try it though. Manaview the different feelings.
Okay. Can you pull that message up so I can see it?
Yeah, I'll pop it up. in full. That'd be easier. There we go.
6 years ago.
I know the door's shut. You can wait.
I'm trying to maneuver.
I don't want to wait. Let me in. You keep a knocking, but you can't come in.
So that's rough, Looney Tunes. I'm really sorry to hear that. I'm sorry you're going through it. We've a lot of us have been in that same position of losing someone to self-inflicted ending.
Yeah.
Very difficult situation to deal with because you feel you didn't communicate enough that you were there. I promise you did. You probably did everything you could. And when it gets to that point in time, I've been there. Nothing else matters. It's that's the end. That's
And
their
there's
mind
always
is
going to
already
be
there.
mind. What if that's always going to
Yeah.
be there? But just know that you
What
keep
if I
doing
had
the right
reached
thing.
out? What if I had been there more? What if I had invited them out last night instead of leaving them alone? What if I had called them? The what ifs are always going to be there. You just have to understand that they're no longer in pain, whatever pain it may have been that they were in. Carry them with you all the time. Do things that they would maybe want to go do. Like if they like to paint, maybe paint a picture once a month or once every 3 months or whatever it may be. Do things that remind you of them, but not in a sad way. Hey,
Do it to
Will,
make you happy and constantly have their memory and have them stories.
hey, Savage, send Lex the link to join in.
Yeah. Tell him I'll pop it in the board. But he can hear me.
Yeah, he can hear you, so.
Doi.
Just copy and paste that to your browser link, Lex. It's the fastest way to do it. What would you, hey Looney, if you're still with us, what would you say is your biggest emotion right now that you're dealing with?
We're not therapists, like he said, but we have been through it, and a lot of the people here in the chat have been through the same. And that, just so you know, there is no right or wrong answer at this moment.
Absolutely not. These are all just experiences and ways that we have learned to cope with things like this, and they may or may not help you. We're just trying to give you another point of view on subjects that we talk about.
Has replied exactly, and I've been in the same the same shoes and feeling I couldn't do it anymore. Reminds me of One More Light by Linkin Park.
It's a good song. Speaking of Linkin Park, a little bit off subject, but I'm going to say this.
Church of Scientology.
Linkin Park made a mistake in bringing on the new lead singer that they did. I think the band is as good as dead.
Here is the man himself.
What is good, Lex?
What's up, guys? I don't know what's going on with my headphones right now. I don't seem to be connecting them properly.
Well, we can hear you.
Yeah, I mean, I can hear you, but it's just not connected to my headphones, that's all. Why has it got my camera backwards? Hang on, let me just fix this shit.
Yeah, you're good. If you want to open it, you can. If you want to open it.
You haven't missed much, David. Just as you come in, we're already just starting. Don't worry.
There we go. All in order now. Couple of things that I want to say first and foremost. Sorry, mate. Go on.
99. It's gonna be
Just
100 the next
wanted to
3
quickly
hours.
address a couple of things. That comment relating the person who's just recently lost someone. One of the things that you can try and sort of get rid of is the sort of survivor's guilt, the feeling where you feel like if only you'd done this or that or whatever, they might still be here. That's never actually the case. Once someone gets to the point where they've actually decided they're going to end their life, they will do it, or they will try to do it, no matter what you do. If you manage to stop them in that occasion, the only thing that would happen is that you prolong the moment where they would try it again. So you're never really responsible for someone's choice to do that. And the other thing I wanted to say is regarding the previous conversation that was being had about aggressive situations, where you're having a conversation with someone and it gets a bit aggressive. When it's with someone that I'm actually trying to have like a decent open communication with, I usually point out to them that that is not going to be a method to conducive and fluid discussion, and that I would refuse to have the conversation unless aggression is pulled back.
How did you get? Have you been that way your whole life, or did
No.
you have to get that way and learn to be that way? Because I'm trying to get to that point with where how you are when you can communicate correctly. Hey, look, I'm getting agitated. You're already agitated. This isn't going to be a communication. It's going to be a fight. I try to get there, and then I wind up blowing clean past it and raising my voice while doing it. So it's
Well,
very
I
difficult.
used to be there,
For,
then lost it, was where Tony was, and now building myself back up. It is hard.
well, the key to that sort of thing is just repetition and practice. I mean, you will fuck up. Sometimes you will lose your temper. It's happened with me before, even still happens sometimes. But the point, like, is that you've got to be able to recognize that moment where you start to be agitated by the situation and get it out there, get it said as early as possible before that person can push you past that, or before you yourself go past that.
that's understandable.
You've got to be able to get that out there as early as you can in the conversation, as soon as the aggression starts to build within you.
Do you believe that arguments can be created because of somebody's tone of voice or the way that they approach you when talking to you about a situation, even if they're not mad
Yes.
at you?
Yes.
Yes,
And
they
that
can.
aggression,
Quite often when someone's using an aggressive tone in a conversation, even when they're like you're not the person that they're actually annoyed with, many people, particularly victims of abuse of different kinds, have a tendency to feel like they're being attacked in that moment, just as an automatic trigger response. The important thing to do in that situation is to point out again that, look, I realize that you're not arguing with me, but your tone is projecting an entirely different sentiment behind your words. It's really coming across to me right now that you are. So I would ask that you kind of try and keep your tone a bit in check in that situation.
Because I don't want to sort of snap at you because I'm being triggered. Because that's how
Yeah.
I am. If someone speaks to me in a shitty tone, I have to take a breath and go, whoa, if you don't want me speaking like that, please don't speak to me like that.
Yeah. That's a fairly reasonable way to say it as well.
yeah. But then, in order for it to truly maintain as a conversation, both people have to be able to be seeing it that way.
Another thing that I would like to address, by the way, is the whole Chester Bennington and what was it, Emily Armstrong is her name.
Yeah.
I realize that a lot of people are feeling a certain kind of way about the fact that she was involved with the Church of Scientology and that she showed some kind of level of support for Danny Masterson. But here's some things that a lot of people need to consider in that situation, is that first and foremost, she showed up to Danny Masterson's preliminary hearing. That's the only support that she gave him. She said nothing publicly in support of him. She did nothing in support of him. There's been one claim made by one person that she harassed one of the victims, of which there is no evidence. And
I'm not even talking on that kind of level, because that has nothing to do with my opinion about her as a vocalist for the band Linkin Park. She did
yeah,
phenomenal in Dead Sarah.
yeah,
But Linkin Park is not that voice of Chester Bennington. There are plenty of other vocalists, and I'm not just saying male. There are plenty of other vocalists in the world that could do what he did. I
yeah.
don't believe she's one of them.
Well, I do understand where you're coming from that, but Linkin Park has actually addressed that sentiment in saying that they are not trying to replace Chester. They are not trying to find someone who can do what he did. They're headed in a new direction. They're creating a new era of Linkin Park. They're not trying to erase Chester or replace Chester. They are
When it
going in a
comes
different
to Chester's
direction now.
parts and such, that's the crowd. She's only there to help the crowd along as such. Apart from that, like Lex said, they are in a new direction.
But why are they coming out with her singing his songs? Yeah, well, people don't like that. That's where a lot of us followers of Linkin Park are like, that's a slap in the face to Chester, his son, his wife.
I
But
think
that's all of our personal opinions, and I mean, it doesn't have any. We can't justifiably say the band needs to fire her, because if they think she's gonna fit, I wish them luck. I really truly do, but I'm not.
She's also getting a lot of flack though because of the person she
See.
supported in that trial.
But you weren't listening to what we had talked about, so. But we had made mention of that. She only went to his prelim and never has
Yeah.
said anything in public support of him.
Yeah, as soon as
But
the
she's getting
evidence,
flack for things that she's done,
uh,
and
yeah,
people are
she,
trying to find a reason to can her. I wish them the best of luck. I won't be listening to their new stuff unless I truly feel it connects to me. The old Linkin Park spoke to me.
Try getting a new lead singer.
I understand that. Chrissy, can you hear me right now? Can Chrissy hear me right now?
Yeah,
Right.
I'm right there.
Cool. She showed up to his preliminary hearing before any evidence was actually presented. As soon as that evidence came to light, she cut ties with him. So she did not support. Yeah. And as well as that, she actually left the Church of Scientology after coming out as gay. So she's not a Scientologist.
I didn't even know that she had been in the Church of Scientology, and even if she had, it wouldn't matter to me. Look at Tom Cruise. He's in it. Look at how many people are in it. Who gives a shit? If they want to throw their money away, fuck them. I don't give a fuck.
Yeah. But regarding the actual vocal talent and all that sort of stuff, yeah, there's a whole bunch of people that could do what Chester did, and I understand that people feel a certain kind of way about her singing the songs that he was on, but I will caution people to consider the fact that they are coming out with a new album, and they had an hour and a half long set to perform, and they didn't want to reveal the entire album during that hour and a half long set, so they had to have some material for her to sing, so they went along with
I will say, once her vocals warmed up, she did really well. I don't know whether people stuck around, but towards the end and midway through, that her voice got more gruffer and it fitted more.
And yeah, Looney Tune Girl, Chris Cornell would have been a great fit, but I don't know if you're aware, but Chris Cornell actually killed himself just a few months after Chester.
Yeah, because of the news
on
of Chester.
Chester's birthday, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah.
It was the opposite.
They were really close.
No. I read it yesterday. It's the opposite.
Yeah, whoever said that is mistaken.
The tone you have is wrong. Just talk.
Chris Cornell died, and then Chester killed himself like months on his birthday. It was the same year, 2017.
Yeah, wherever you read that, as far as I recall it was mistaken, because both of those deaths hit me like a fucking freight train. And I remember it quite well.
And Chester died in July.
Pardon me just a second. I'll be right back.
Yeah. May 18th, 2017 and July 20th, 2017.
It's all good. The oh, I completely agree. You
Yeah,
can't replace Soundgarden or Audio
No, you
Slave.
can't.
yeah. No, you're actually right, Chrissy. That's correct. It was the other way around. Chris Cornell did die first.
So what could you imagine Korn without Jonathan Davis? 'Cause
Mm.
I couldn't.
No, I understand that, but I mean, it's happened before that people have felt this way about, like, I mean, look at AC/DC. Bon
Yeah,
Scott
Yeah.
died, and nobody thought that anybody would ever replace Bon Scott, but then Brian Johnson built a whole fucking legacy for AC/DC thereafter.
right. Hey, look at Cliff Burton from
I
Metallica.
mean,
When he died,
Right.
nobody thought they were gonna fucking be able to replace him, and Jason Newsted stepped in and did a phenomenal job.
you've not just got when Cliff died. What about when the dude left and made Megadeth? Was it Megadeth he made? The old
Yeah.
guitarist from Metallica? Yeah,
Yeah, but
Dave, that's his
the
name.
Metallica weren't particularly big when Dave Mustaine left. Like they got
Yeah,
big after.
When Dave Mustaine left
Yeah.
Metallica, that was before they really went and exploded. Before the Black Album, because the Black
Well, I know
Album is
that,
what
but
really put us
yeah.
over the top.
But
But it was
then this
even
is the
before
same as
that.
if you
Like,
talk about Slipknot. Like Slipknot weren't the same without Joey,
But
but
could you
people still
replace the
respect
lead
Harry
vocalist?
Gum.
Could you
Weren't the same
replace
without
Corey
Paul.
Taylor? Could you replace Corey Taylor in Slipknot and still have it be Slipknot?
No,
I
you
don't
could
think
now.
so.
no, but
You
originally
could
Corey
now.
Taylor wasn't the actual vocalist.
Sorry for long. Yeah, actually that is true. The original vocalist was a dude named Anders. But no, for a long time, no, there wouldn't have been anybody who could successfully fill the shoes of Corey Taylor in any real sense. But his son, however, could do it.
Ooh, and their band is amazing and doing phenomenal.
Vended,
Oh
yeah.
no.
And he's not
That's
tried to
Slipknot
get off his
2.0.
dad's.
Black Label Society.
He
Yeah.
tried to keep it away from his dad so he could build his career on his own, but then people started catching wind. But he's
Yeah.
done phenomenal.
But he does have a very similar voice. You can tell that he's Corey's son. You can tell that he's like learned from Corey in a lot of ways. So there is someone. But
Look at
then,
the
I mean,
hair
look
and
at
look how
Dimebag
he's
Darrell.
playing. Yeah.
Look at Dimebag Darrell of Pantera. Nobody thought he could be replaced, and now Zakk Wylde is touring with them.
And
Yeah.
I was just speaking about Zakk Wylde to Chrissy. She was like, "What about Ozzy Osbourne?" I was like, "Well, when Ozzy went down with laryngitis for a while, Zakk Wylde from Black Label Society, who used to do backup vocals for Ozzy, stepped in and did the
Yeah.
tour with him." So, I mean, if you listen to Black Label Society and you don't know it's Black Label Society, you would swear it's Ozzy Osbourne.
Okay.
If you
You know,
didn't know that Zakk Wylde was the lead singer, because he trained under Ozzy. Ozzy taught him how to hit the notes correctly.
I was going to say Ozzy and Zakk have very similar voices, although Zakk, classically speaking, is a better singer than Ozzy, but that's neither here nor there.
I think a lot of it has to
But
do
it's
with
happened
his
to
vocal
so many
range.
bands where the bands had to carry on because of the fans loving the music so much. I mean,
Right.
when I was growing up, in the metalcore, hardcore scene, you had Suicide Silence, and
Yeah.
he was looked and Mitch Luker was looked at one of the headers of constructing that whole scene in music. Ended up killing himself over mental health. He was
As it
drunk.
stands. Sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off there. Carry on.
You're right. You're fine.
So,
It's
as
okay.
it stands with my knowledge and shit, there's a lag here. Carry on.
You're fine. You're fine, bro. Carry on.
I was just saying through my years of exploration of music, like my broad taste in music, I've only found one vocalist that actually can't be replaced, and that is Vessel of Sleep Token.
Yes, I would agree there.
Burbank is 105, and LA is complaining about, is this normal? It's
Also,
105 degrees.
I was about to say, Daddy from Cradle of Filth, he would be hard to replace, I reckon.
All right, we got to get back on
Yeah.
subject about communication. gonna be 80s out here. It's gonna be nice.
We're gonna be cooler than them.
But no, back to communication, and all of this leads to parts of communication. Is I had a difference of opinion than you did, Lex, about the Linkin Park and the new lead singer, and we were able to carry on a conversation without resulting to being angry with each other. And I mean, yeah, it's a simple little subject, but those simple little subjects are what people mainly fight about.
Yeah.
If you think about it, those little things, you have a disagreement on something, and then the next thing that they want to bring up or you want to bring up causes a bigger fight or a bigger back and forth, and then it just builds. So having that positive way to be able to communicate with each other and allowing each other to speak when we've realized, oh, hey, I started stepping on you, sorry about that, go ahead and finish. That's a huge part in communication and being able to communicate appropriately for the situation. I won't say correctly, I will say appropriately.
Yeah. I'd agree
Because
entirely.
appropriate actions and vocal tones and body language and everything like that dictates and depends on situation.
Yeah. No,
So,
the reality of that discussion is quite simply that no one will ever replace Chester. But moving on.
Yeah.
no one can, but I wish them luck. Because they're taking a step in a direction that they feel they should go. And that's good for them. I wish them the best.
As artists,
Doesn't
me
mean I'm
and
going to
Lex will
support.
probably understand the artistic point of view is it wasn't just Chester who built that band. It was all of them that built the band together, and they can't just leave the name to die. So that's why they've
Exactly.
gone in a new direction, carried on. It's because
And I
they can't
completely
replace
understand.
Chester, and they don't want to replace him, so they keep the name alive, but do something new.
Yeah.
In our eyes, it will never be the same. And in a lot of people's, it never will be. But hopefully, this new Linkin Park can reach the next generation like it did with yours and mine.
Yeah.
I don't like it. I don't even like her voice. She's not that good of a singer.
Babe, and that's all your personal opinion.
Lex is a better vocal singer than she is. And that's my personal opinion.
Yeah, there's nothing wrong with having an opinion.
Not at all.
I think it's a good place for a break. We'll throw two down, throw two songs on, so I've got some time to elevate.
Okay. We'll be back shortly, people.
All right, we'll be right back, guys. Sorry about the pause.
What songs would you be putting on?
I'm just popping on two that I've got in the playlist.
Okay. Because after this
I can
discussion,
only
I
play out
myself
if
had.
I've got permission.
Yeah, that's fair.
What did you want to put one of yours on?
No, I was just saying, like, after this discussion, my response would be to play something by Linkin Park with Chester and something with Chris Cornell. That's just, but you're right enough about the permissions. You can't really do that. So
I would, but we can't. We can only stick to what BTMX has got permission for. That's the downside, unfortunately.
Yeah.
But we'll be right back, people.
no turn in the mouth of the madness. 666 said no sleep, drowning in the liquid room. Pull it, take your seat, show you shit you never seen. I'm a pussy.
Portrait of a tragedy.
Kill the medication. I'm a suicidal man with my finger on the trigger of annihilation. Hold the pistol to my head, hate the pain. I'm a portrait of a tragedy. I feel the temperature rising. I got a fever, I'm thriving. Split my tears like Poseidon. Go recluse, bitch, I'm biting. I'm an asshole, got a hundred counts on the back sheet. My breaking shackles, I rose up from 60. Use my bloody fingers as a paintbrush.
Paint me, portrait of a tragedy.
Kill the medication. I'm a suicidal man with my finger on the trigger of annihilation. Hold the pistol to my head, hate the pain. I'm a portrait of a tragedy. Gonna know a turn in the mouth of the madness. 666 brain dead, no sleep, drowning in the liquid room. Bullet take a seat, show you shit you never seen. I'm a portrait of a tragedy.
Paint me, portrait of a tragedy.
Kill the medication. I'm a suicidal man with my finger on the trigger of annihilation. Hold the pistol to my head, hate the pain. I'm a portrait of a tragedy. I'm a portrait of a tragedy. I'm a portrait of a tragedy.
Hey, I got blood in my dreads, I got mud in my lens, I got null in my void, got drugs on my head. Hold up, dark fence. I do not have any friends. I do not have any friends. I do not have any friends. Indoor fence. You'll never see me again. You'll never see me again. Never see me again. Indoor fence. I do not have any friends. I do not have any friends. I do not have any friends. Little baby, we try to pull up. Shawty, you know I don't want the rinse all in my cup. Shot party all in my gun. Who is that all in the cut? And I just call them whatever you want. My shooters don't need to be known, but apples ever going up. Your roses are red, and so are you. My Rolex, whoa, my hundreds are blue. My conscience is chaos, my soul electric voodoo. I give a fuck what you do. Deuce, go pop, poo, foo. I got blood in my dreads, I got mud in my lens, I got null in my void, I got drugs in my head. Hold up. do not have any friends. I do not have any friends. I do not have any friends. Endorphins. You'll never see me again. You'll never see me again. You'll never see me again. Endorphins. I do not have any friends. I do not have any friends. I do not have any friends. I got blood in my dreads. I got mud in my lens. I got null in my voice. I got drugs on my head. I got blood in my dreads. I got blood. I do not have any friends. I do not have any friends. I do not have any friends. I got blood in my dreads. I got blood in my lens. I got null. You'll never see me again. Drugs. You'll never see me again. I got blood in my dreads. I got blood. I do not have any friends. I do not have any friends. I do not have any friends.
But I'm back on.
What's what?
You're still
We're back.
muted, I think.
He has died. It's on NBC News.
So James Earl Jones just died.
Oh shit.
God.
The voice of Mufasa, the voice of Darth Vader,
Shit.
93 years old.
God. What a legend.
The voice of 3 generations
Oh my God.
is gone.
He wasn't actually the. I might be wrong on this. I might be right. He wasn't actually the voice. I think he was the body. No, he was the voice, wasn't he? No, because of
He
his
was the
deep
voice
booming
of
voice.
Darth
Yeah, he
Vader.
was the voice, but he wasn't the body.
He was the
That's
voice
it.
of Vader.
He was the voice of Vader.
He was the voice,
Mufasa.
but someone else was the body. That's correct. Sorry.
Yep.
Yes.
Oh, that's fucking shit news.
And he was
Yeah.
Mufasa from The Lion King.
Oh my God. They just made the Mufasa movie too. He just made his last.
He just did his last
I'm
movie.
gonna have to watch it now.
The Mufasa movie has James Earl Jones as the
Oh my
voice of
God.
Mufasa.
I have to go with my name. Oh my God. We just saw the fucking legend, bro. Oh my God.
Yeah, we whipped up the notification that he passed.
David said, "May the force be with him."
Forever. He has now become a part of the Force. He's like Yoda and Qui-Gon Jinn. He is now a part of the Force. He'll forever be with us.
Do you want to know a really funny fact about Star Wars? Yoda, the actual first making of Yoda, was actually, when you look at him, based off the guy who sculpted it. I was watching a little thing about it the other day when the crew looked at it all, they could see the dude that had made it.
Yeah. So they made him change it. So back to communication. Let's go to the opposite spectrum of it. How do you de-escalate someone when they're in an aggressive and it's at you or not at you? Let's pick one and then go from there. How can you communicate correctly and help de-escalate someone from a situation?
Yeah, but that will depend on the individual and what they're responsive to, really.
But how do you do it? So like pick a scenario of you're helping somebody calm down who's not mad at you, but the aggression is directed at you. How is it that you are able to get them to see that, hey, beyond just you're using your words, because communication is more than just words. We all know that. How do you get someone to calm down to the point where they can rationally think?
Again, it really depends on the individual. It's quite a broad question, like in terms of answers. Um, some individuals will respond to touch and a more understanding tone, which would be probably one of the more common ones, where like if you could sort of lay a hand on their shoulder or something and just remind them that although they are angry about something, the person or situation that has made them angry is not present at that moment, and that they should take a moment to kind of collect themselves, breathe, consider their thoughts and their words. But then there's also like that's not always going to work with everyone. Sometimes some people might find that somewhat patronizing.
Well, I mean, I can be on both sides of that. I could, in certain situations, I would greatly appreciate that hand, that reach out, that, hey, I understand you're mad and I know you're not mad at me. So let's calm down for a second so we can communicate. I get that one. I also get the other side. Um, but the patronizing, I don't think it's the person. I think it's the situation in which that person is upset or devastated or whatever it may
Yeah, I
be.
mean, yeah, that
Because
definitely have an influence.
like if somebody had come up to me when I was emotional about my dogs and been like, "Hey man, she's not here," I be for me that would have been like, "Dude, you don't understand the situation. Those dogs were my fucking saviors in Alaska. They saved my life more than once. They those dogs mean more to me than most things on this planet. It goes my son, my wife, my dogs, myself."
I feel like the key sort of like the only solid answer that covers everything would be that the key thing would be to attempt to understand from their perspective and then address it accordingly.
So communication is all about understanding,
Yeah,
is what you would say. The primary purpose of communication is for understanding. And if you can be open to understanding and open to the way that other people feel about things, you're more likely going to have more positive outcomes through communication than negative.
yeah, I'd agree.
I can completely see that, because being able to understand where someone's coming from in a time of duress, whether it be anger, sorrow, depression, whatever it may be, being able to understand where someone comes from, and not just like, not being just sympathetic, but true empathetic, but being
Yeah,
truly empathetic about the situation. And that's what I believe is so hard for a lot of people, is because the situations that, like dealing with the death of my sister, unless you've lost a sibling, you're not going to understand the emotional behind that, right?
no,
You can be sympathetic towards it, but you can't be empathetic. Now, if my dad dies and your dad has died, then you can be empathetic because you know how that true feeling is. But we need to truly understand that you don't need to have gone through the same loss as someone to be
to understand
empathetic,
loss.
to be empathetic. And that's where the communication line is drawn, is people are like, but you've never lost a sibling, or you didn't have this happen to you. That doesn't mean I don't understand the trauma that comes with what you went through. It
Yeah,
just means that I can see that, okay, that trauma's affected you this way. I can relate to that trauma more than the situation.
yeah, definitely.
Right? So if we understood that everybody's trauma is why they deal with things the way that they do. The communication would open up more because I would be able to be more understood by somebody who's never lost a family member, had an animal, or had a child taken from them. Like, I have no idea what it's like to have CPS come through the door and take your child. I know plenty of parents that have been through it, and I sympathize with them, and I try to be as empathetic as possible with them. But I know that I don't know that feeling.
Yeah.
Doesn't mean I don't understand the trauma that comes with it.
No, that's true.
So,
But at this point, I'm going to have to go. It was
of
good to
course,
be able to join briefly, but I've got to be getting to my bed soon.
of course. I mean, you're like, what, 10 hours ahead of me? 9
Yeah,
hours ahead of me?
it's 11 at night right now, so.
It's an hour ahead of me. It's 10 o'clock now, so it'll be 11 for Lex.
Yeah, that's right. But I wish you guys a good day and enjoy the rest of the show. And I'll speak to you soon.
Get some sleep. We'll talk to you in the future.
Yeah, I'll see you tomorrow.
Take care.
Peace.
See ya.
Damn, I almost ended my conversation because
amazing.
it felt like it was just a phone call.
Not just an amazing artist there, but also a man of very good words and very philosophical words.
He understands a lot more than people give him credit for. He's a lot more intelligent than people like him.
He's a very, very smart man.
He's far more grounded than I am, and I would love to get there. I'm working on it, but that's what we're all doing. We're all trying to work on getting to a certain point. It doesn't hurt that he's Scottish, and the way that he talks can just be soothing to anybody.
Yeah, but he doesn't live in Scotland anymore.
I know he doesn't live in Scotland anymore, but he'll never lose that Scottish drawl.
No, and that's what I love about his voice as well. You could listen to stories for ages, but then that's
it's like
just the
sitting
same
around
as
a campfire with the ancestors.
Yeah, I've seen a lot of his battle rap without music, and it is literally like storytelling.
He's a very talented artist. He's a very talented man. He's a brilliant man. Respect the shit out of him.
So do I. But Queen Enigma's up in here. I don't know which story you're on about, David. There's quite a couple about you. Don't know whether that's good or bad.
Well, apparently it's one specific story. What's up, Queen Enigma? Sorry I didn't shout you out earlier when I saw you come on.
Excuse me.
But there's one specific one about him like losing his shit and you being able to calm him down or some shit. Because that's when he commented that when I was talking about.
That's probably to do with his neighbour. That's probably to do with his neighbour. Like, it had nothing to do with me, so it was easy to kind of get involved and diffuse the situation. But that same person was triggering my mental health off, and I calmly explained 3 times. And then that person decided to. Well, I closed the door on them, and they decided to be childish and put their foot in the door. And I went, "We're not going to go down this childish route. I'm male, you're female. You may be gay, and you the butch one, and I respect you, but in this situation, this is not going to be a good move. I'm going to close the door now, and if you continue to knock or try and open the door, it's going to be classed as a criminal offence. So I will either have to call the police and possibly restrain you with minimum force until they're here." And then I got threatened. David was kicking off. They were having an argument. You know how neighbours are. And I just kind of jumped in the middle. I was like, "Hi, I'm a guest here. I don't appreciate hearing the shouting. Then I started getting shouted. I was like, wait, I haven't caused a problem or an issue. Talk to me.
Exactly.
But yeah, I still got shouted at, and I still gave plenty of warning, and still dealt with the situation. I don't know how to. But I dealt with that situation calmly, and David knows what I'm about.
And unfortunately, sometimes that's gonna happen. You're gonna have where you're like, "Hey, just talk to me, just talk calmly, and everything will be fine." And you'll get that one person who's like, doesn't care. They're ready to fight. They're ready to do whatever.
I kind of went into security guard mode. That's the thing. And then it got past a couple of steps after respect. So then I kind of matched the energy level, and then things back down.
And like I said, that's going to happen from time to time.
But then the neighbor
just not
did
to
some
let
really
that. You just really, not you, but in general, people in general just generally need to learn that talking is vital, because eventually it goes beyond what words can fix. But I mean, the show's kind of on a standstill right now with communication wise, because we've talked about a lot of different things about the way you're talked to and the way you respond, the way that some ways to possibly handle dealing with somebody who's angry but not at you, but is projecting it towards you.
Yeah.
Or and sometimes you just got to understand that you may feel like they're yelling at you, but they're not. So you've got to be able to express, hey, look, I know you're not yelling at me, but the yelling is setting me off.
And I don't want to be that way to you in this situation.
Exactly. So I really think that communication is a key part of society. I mean, yeah, we have all these ways to communicate. We've got cell phones, and we've got computer and Facebook and Instagram and Snapchat and fucking WhatsApp
And
and all
because
this
of
other
all
stuff.
that, kids and adults have forgotten how to write a letter.
Forgotten
Sorry.
how to talk.
I sound like an old granddad, don't I? Do you know what I mean?
They've forgotten how to talk to each other.
I've forgotten how to have a conversation.
Exactly.
Well,
like this kind of a situation where what we're doing now, it may be on a specific subject, and this may be a conversation, but it's not the kind of conversations I'm talking about. Does that make sense? This conversation, somebody's going to get mad somewhere, sometime, eventually on one of my podcasts. I know it. I'm going to say something, or I'm going to express an opinion, and somebody's going to take offense to it. And I'm sorry for when that happens.
fuck you, Tony. Fuck you.
But it will happen. And I hope that person, instead of deciding to be childish about it, can stay on the program and say, hey, look, you say you're about this. Well, this triggered me, and this is how I feel about what you just stated. Can we talk about it? Because therein lies that open line of communication. Okay, you're mad, but you're still willing to come to me and say, hey, I'm mad. Do you think we can talk about it and maybe figure out how we can come back to civil terms?
Yeah.
We'll get to that. We'll come back to my subject. Anita, that subject right there. I've been in the situation with someone, asked them to calm down. They gave an attitude. You give it right back. Believe me, I understand escalation of force. I completely understand escalation of force, but how many times did you, and I'm not saying there's a set number of times you have to do this. I'm wondering, for my own morbid personal curiosity, how many times did it take you going, hey, look, calm down. You ain't got to yell at me before you. Was it once, twice, 5 times, 10 times? Was it 10 minutes? Was it 20 seconds? Like, I want to know from my own personal morbid curiosity, because I typically go 4 or 5 times saying, hey, calm down. You don't have to yell. Let's talk. And usually by the 5th time, if I'm saying it again, I'm saying it louder. And then my next one is a snap off. I'm not proud of that, but that's what I do. I've realized that I can say it up to this many times. I'm trying to work on getting that 6th one out. So eventually I can just maintain that level of,
sometimes it isn't you. That's the thing.
and that's
Sometimes
in,
other people. Yeah, this is the thing.
but the more that, like as Lex was stating, the more that you approach it with a calm mind frame and a calm attitude, then you take it from there.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? You approach it at here, and if they continue to bring it up, you until you have to go to here. And that's
So
everybody.
basically, she calmed 5 times like you, and then after the 5th time went, "Oh, fuck you," basically.
Well, that kind of a statement is beyond stupid to say to someone.
Yeah.
That's just asking for someone to get pissed off. That'd be like coming to me saying that I didn't deserve to have my son for 10 years. I'd look at you and be like, prove to me that my ex-wife did. Prove to me that I didn't have it. And I don't like people that say you shouldn't have your kids, or you don't deserve to have your kids. I hate fucking people like that. 90% of the people that talk like that don't have kids. And if they do, they're not the perfect Susie homemaker. I'm right there with you, Anita, when it comes to that kind of a situation. I don't think at any point a child needs to be brought into the conversation between adults.
No, but that's how petty some people are sometimes, because they
Some
know that
people,
that's going to make you pop, to make you look like the bad person, because they want to reflect the badness on what they've just done. That's what I've worked out with life recently.
I can see that, but I don't believe that there is ever a time between 2 adults that a child should be brought into the argument. Now, whether it's used as leverage or whether it's used as a throw in the face, or whether it's used as a tell your mom to shut the fuck up type situation, you know what I mean? I'm guilty of it. I don't think it should be done,
I,
but I'm guilty of it.
Unseen shadows. The topic is communication.
Yeah, today's topic is about communication, and the proper way to communicate. And it doesn't, it's hard to say the proper way to communicate, because there's really no proper way to communicate to each other except for by talking. But when you talk to somebody and you have a difference of opinion and that person starts to get irritated, you're going to wind up in an argument if you can't focus back to just conversing and talking.
Yeah.
So I truly think that conversation is the basis for all. it truly is the basis for all groundwork to be done between society. You've got to communicate what you are expecting, what you're needing, what you're wanting, what you will do, you know what I mean, and what you won't do. It's all about having that freedom to talk about it. And now a lot of countries don't have the same freedoms like I have in the United States. I can openly talk bad about my government. I can openly talk bad about my government as long as I don't make threats. Right? Some countries, you can't speak up about the government at all. But that's one of the benefits of being an American citizen and being here. And my communication is I have the freedom of speech. I can say that the governments in, like,
We did have.
say, England or Scotland or Saudi Arabia or Iraq or Afghanistan or Pakistan or anywhere. I can say anything about any other country that I want to with no repercussions from my own government. And that includes talking bad about people in my own government. But in other countries, you can't do that. That's not communication. That's the hindrance of communication. Because
the thing is, if the UK communicate,
you guys get shut down.
if it doesn't fit the narrative,
you guys get shut down.
Then you're classed as far right and extreme. Even if you're not being racist in any way, you're put in that category.
The same way over here. I mean, if you support Donald Trump over here, you're a right-wing extremist. You hate women and you hate immigrants. And I'm all for immigration. I'm all for legal immigration.
You saw what Elon Musk done. The UK want to put him away for 5 years. I'm being serious. I find it funny, but
I know. Did you see that post that some dude in England, some high up dude in England was like, we're going to start charging Americans and having them extradited to England to face charges for what they say on the internet. I was like, good luck.
Yeah, I'm being serious. But money talks. But then where's the government got this money from? Because we sure as hell need it in the UK.
How you going to pay? How you going to pay? How you going to pay to fly my ass from here, have me arrested because you're going to have to pay my police department to pick me up. And then you got to pay two of your cops to come fly over here, stay at least 3 days.
But yeah, they can't even fix the fucking potholes. Sorry, that's what it comes down to, is the potholes. The potholes. That's it.
It's not even just the fucking potholes.
That's all I can say is the potholes. They need to fix the potholes.
They can't fix the potholes, but they can bring in people from another country and give them a life? Fuck you.
I didn't say anything about that. I said there's too many potholes in the UK. Okay, that's all I said.
Yeah, they can't even fix the potholes because they're taking care of too many people that don't belong there.
Maybe that is some of the potholes. Some of the potholes, but I mean, I'm being potholes in general. Like, they're really annoying, and they can't even fix that in the UK. But yet they want to fly Elon Musk or anyone else over that says, yeah. I mean, I read an article a little while before coming on from somewhere trusted. They literally just gave a paedophile 2 months because they're doing early releases in jail so they can lock people up in jail for speaking out of term. But yet they're going to release rapists and paedophiles first, which I think is disgusting and wrong. But our government seems to think that's the correct policy of working things out. I don't know whether people are aware that there was an explosion at the O2 about a week ago near the O2 in London. And it was a guy who was convicted of raping 2 15-year-olds who exploded a van. BBC van got caught in it. A fucking police van got caught in it. But it's not being classed as a terrorist act, apparently, because it was on a film set. It was a planned explosion. But as all of us know, and Tony knows, when it comes to film sets and explosions or fireworks or anything like that, everyone has to have what's called a gunpowder license, and everyone understands that when they have that they have to know about the wind trajectory and how much powder to use and things like that. So I smell something fishy. So yeah, but that's all I'm gonna say. I mean, anywhere else that'd be classed as a terrorist attack. In the UK right now, that's classed as an out of control fire from a film. But that's covering up the fact that the guy had just been convicted and didn't go to jail for raping two 15-year-old girls and posing as a film producer. That's the current state of the UK.
That's a lot about around a lot of the world.
Send money. Send money. Free me and my son. Send money. I want to live anywhere but the UK. Help me fly to where Lex is.
Dude, I would fucking live in Ireland in a heartbeat.
It's not Ireland at all. I think, if I'm correct, he's in Norway.
Oh, I know he's in Norway, but I would go to Ireland in a heartbeat.
Yeah, but Ireland is facing as just much struggle as the UK is, the same as Scotland is. But they're dealing with it all in different ways.
They've been dealing with it since the 70s.
I know, and they're calling the riots that a lot of people... Careful, boy. They're saying the riots that happened in the UK are very bad, even though it was just one hotel and there's a couple of people protesting. There was a couple of smashed windows. They're trying to compare that to the 70s and 80s riots that the UK had, and yeah,
You can't compare
the
them.
70s and 80s were bad in the UK for the riots. But I can't speak anymore on it. I'll get arrested. You know?
But we can probably wrap it up right about here. What would you guys like to talk about next week? What do you think would be a good topic to talk about? Maybe we can get one of you guys to jump on with us like we had Lex Lethal jump in today. Give us some topics, guys. If not, I'll just come up with one sometime this week and we'll punch it out.
There is a delay, so you do have to give them a couple minutes.
And to those that didn't make it in today but are watching and didn't comment or didn't get a chance to watch live and are commenting afterwards, thank you for showing up. Thank you for watching. We tend to get a little sidetrack on this platform, but that's just what we do. It's a dark subject, but I'm down to talk about it. Savage, how about you?
Yeah. I'm happy to talk about it. It's a tough situation, tough subject to talk about. But yeah, I can talk about it.
Yeah, I can. So if everybody else is okay with that being the topic, the subject, we can do that.
Anita said surprise us. I mean, suicide is pretty surprising, isn't it?
If the conversation gets too much, please let us know. We don't want to.
We'll take some break.
Yeah, let us know. We'll take a break. We'll come back on the same subject on a different side of it. So, Once again, thank you guys for sticking through and sticking around and coming through again. You guys have a good week. Remember, this is S.M.I.L.E. And love life and learn from it, guys.
I will play a song and then, yeah. But thank you, everyone.
No, Looney Tune, not at all.
Yeah, I don't mean to be
a downer. No, not at all. It's a touchy subject for people in general to talk about, because most of us have dealt with it in one form or another in our life. We just don't like to talk about it because it's such a taboo subject. I'm not afraid again about talking about the taboo subjects, about suicide, about murder, about the rage and aggression. I'm not afraid to talk about those things, as long as they maintain talks of dealing with them, how to better see the signs. Which, no offense, I don't care how good of a friend you are to somebody. If your best friend or a very, very close friend is going to do that, they're going to do it.
Yeah, Lex was right in how he worded it. I just didn't know how to word it, but Lex was correct.
Well, I'm more blunt with the way I say it. When they've made up their mind, they're going to. You prolong the inevitable by stopping them momentarily. But somebody who reaches out to you and says, "Hey, I think I'm thinking about hurting myself," those are the ones that you need to be there for, because theirs is not necessarily going to be intentional. They're at a low point and they might do something stupid, but you ask anybody who survived jumping off the San Francisco Bridge, which there have been survivors, they say that their moment of deepest regret was the second they stepped off the bridge and they realized they wanted to live.
Yeah.
Don't let a bad day become a permanent reminder for other people for the rest of their lives.
You're correct, Lady T. Go.
Read this and see if it's real.
I've been there more times than I want to talk about, but I will definitely talk about a couple of them.
Yeah.
So, next week, suicide. It's going to be a rough one. But it's going to be one that probably has a lot of interaction in it. So, we'll get the show built and prepared to share by Friday, so that you guys can share it out as well, all right? Please share it out to everybody that you can. Share it to your friends, share it to your family. Share it to groups that you're in that you think would be fitting for this show, please. The more interaction we get, the longer these shows can go, and the more that we can get people on here talking about these subjects and talking about the things that we want to discuss and why we are the way we are. So, once again, remember, everybody, smile. Things will be better. And we love you guys for coming through. Thank you so much. And we will see you guys next week.
Peace out. Thank you, everyone.
Have a good week, guys.
You know I'm no good like Wayne House. Still one white wine when you over at my house. Undress yourself on my couch. Now it's 30 missed calls, what's that about? Don't wanna play games, don't wanna play how to block that bitch from my social accounts. She's calling me trash, yeah, I'm Oscar the Grouch. If I answer her call, I'll end up in her sure you get my bad side. Girl, you giving off the bad vibes. Why you coming with the bad vibes? Paint me in a bad light. Make sure you get my bad side. Girl, you giving off the bad vibes. Why you coming with the bad vibes? Paint me in a bad light. Make sure you get my bad side. Girl, you giving out the bad vibes. Why you coming with the bad vibes? Paint me in a bad light. Make sure you get my bad side. Girl, you giving out the bad vibes. Why you coming with the bad vibes? Yeah, ayy. Getting flashbacks, she's laid in my bed of the times that before go around in my head. Can't forget all the things that you said. Baby girl, me and you was meant to make it to the end, yeah. But the vision's all fucked now. Baby girl, you fucked now. Yeah, I'm all out of luck now. It's when the line's getting cut down. In the back of the room with the lights low. Benzos, weed rolled with the wine snow. Guess you know how the night go. Being up 4 days on you on my mind though. Where the time go? Looking back on my flaws like a psycho. Need to break out the bad life. Sad sight stomped out in the bad light. Paint me in a bad light. Make sure you get my bad side. Girl, you giving off the bad vibes. Why you coming with the bad vibes? Paint me in a bad light. Make sure you get my bad side. Girl, you giving off the bad vibes. Why you coming with the bad vibes? Paint me in a bad light. Make sure you get my bad side. Girl, you giving out the bad vibes. Why you coming with the bad vibes? Paint me in a bad light. Make sure you get my bad side. Girl, you giving out the bad vibes. Why you coming with the bad vibes?
Got an army. Tony slaps panda, no need to harm me. Voices loud, yet the heart feels clammy. Stage lights on, we all family. Demons in my brain, but I got an army. Tony slaps panda, no need to harm me. Voices loud, yet the heart feels clammy. Stage lights on, we all family. Come to the show, smile you ain't alone. Through the speakers all pain gets shown. Raise your fist like a shield they grow. Tony and Panda, the place you call home. To the show, smile you ain't alone. Through the speakers all pain gets shown. Raise your fist like a shield they grow. Tony and Panda, the place you call home. Let the bass drop, let your heart pound. We fight the invisible, make no sound. Break the chains, no longer feel bound. In this arena, solace found. Mental scars inked in our minds. Through the chaos, a clear sight.